Right, so here we are. So like I was saying earlier, is I was trying to, I haven't figured out the depth thing, and I'll probably figure it out this weekend because it was slowing us down from continuing on doing other things. So we would started to make the list yesterday of all the things that we need to do in the game. Let me see if I can pull that list up real quick. There it is. And then I was just looking at different things, and one of the things that was on the list, let me see where it go, is bees. We need bees. Bees buzzing around the beehive animations. I know it's silly, but you have to think of the little things too. So I went and see if I can pull this up. We're going to go ahead and turn the logos off. Turn our thing on here. Let's turn the window off and go into here. So I came up with this idea to just make a simple animation of bees buzzing around. Why is this not? So I made this thing. Ah, jeez, come on. Close that. Thank you. So I made this, which are bees buzzing. I'm going to show you how I made it here in a second. So, but I went and I put it on one of our beehives. Where's our beehives at? There we are. So here it is on one of our beehives, and it's in front of the beehive. But it's not going to stand out hugely, nor did I want it to stand out hugely. I just wanted some kind of motion around the beehives. So like this is the only one that has it on there. So if we do a build, I'm gonna show the outcome here so I can. If we do a build, and we walk into there, which is we are apt to do because that's the area we go through a lot. I just wanted some kind of life or something moving around for the beehives, and that's why I put it on the list yesterday. And go here. Okay, as will come up on your screen in a second. Okay, so if we go over to the beehives now, that one beehive has bees around it. Oh, it's actually behind it. So we need to move it in front of it. But you get the general idea. Is that beehive now looks like there's actual bees in it, or they're buzzing around. And it's just, yeah. But the bees have to appear in the front, which also comes to our layering issue again, is our depth issue. Also, our bees seem to have a drop shadow, which we should turn that off. I don't think bees should have a drop shadow, the basic shadow for the game. Because like I said, I just threw it in there, so there's some issues. Now, in here, it does look like, yeah, in here it's in front of. But I think it's based on the shadow in this particular case. So if we go to back to its sprite, and we move its shadow point down here, that should put it in front of. Okay, so hopefully that'll put it in front. Another thing we have to do is we need to go into its to its variables. We need to turn off the basic drop shadow, which is this one here. Turn that off. And then that'll turn the little round shadow off. Bees remind me of locust swarms in Diablo 2 a little. Yeah, they're and I'm going to show you. They literally are just a 4x4 pixel. 4x4. That's it. You know, it's silly, and then I'll show you how I got them to move around. Back here, do a save. Now let's see if that puts it in front. And what we can do, I believe, is make its parent the beehive itself. So if we move the beehive, it will automatically move it. But let's see if that actually put it in front. No, it put it way up there. Oh, I know why. Because we moved the center. Put it like right there. That's good. Survey says it's in front and it's bees. There you go. So at least that gives it a little bit of life. At least it reminds me of beehives more than if it was just the hive. And the process for putting it together, let me pull After Effects up here, was actually kind of silly. Because I'm like, okay, because I'm saying to myself, well, how the hell do I do this? And what I came up with is, let me get a window over here. Because I had to do two things. I had to check the animation to see if it worked. But I also had to cut it up into what it expects. Okay, that should be good. That up. Nope, wrong one. This one. So here's After Effects. So what I did was I created a single dot. Let me put the background in here. So this is the 10 frames. But what I did first was I came over here and I created a single dot, which does this animation thing. And all it is if we look at the actual piece of art for it, see if I can pull it up here. Oh, it's in the background. Let's close all these. Just turn one of them on. So they are literally just one dot, right? So this is the one dot here. And what I created was this very small piece of code that randomizes its position. So I don't have to do any animation, anything. All I have to do is just copy this into the position and then say, okay. And it randomly puts it anywhere on the page. So it just keeps going. So then I'm like, okay, so let's add more and then just keep adding them until it looks like there's enough. I know it's silly, but so we can put all kinds of them in and we don't have to do any animation or anything like that. We just have to turn it on and off. Where did that come from? Oh, because I had put the beehive in the background at one point too. Just to see what it would look like with the beehive. But I think I'm in too close because I had to change the size to a 32 by 32. So then what I did was I took that and took each pixel or each thing and made a new comp and then laid them out in a 32 by, I think it's 320 grid, and then laid a single frame out for each one. I rendered this out as PNG files and then pulled the PNG files back in to lay them out in what is needed for the character build up. So we have all of our 10 frames here. Actually, it's 11 frames, I think. Yeah, we have 11 frames here. And then we take that back to Game Maker. What's that? Back to Game Maker, go to here. And then I made this, which is just its sprite. So it's same, oh, sorry, it's behind. Close that window, close that window, okay. So made this sprite and basically went to the edit image editor and brought in each of these from that one single image. And the way you do that is if you go to image and you say, let's see, where's it at? Convert to frames? No. Import image, blah, blah, blah. I think it's convert to frames. And then you say from that image, like, oh yeah, this is exactly where it is. So you can say that there's 11 frames going across the row. And the width of them is 32 each. And so it takes that purple one that we made here. It's purple because I put a background on it, but let's open After Effects back up again. Turn the window on. So this purple thing here in the top corner, where has each of those is a single frame in this animation. And that's just how I did it. I just put it together in here, which actually for After Effects, it was just easier for me to be able to do that than to do it in Photoshop, because it can be done in Photoshop, but it's just our little dots. And they don't move. All we need is this put out as a single image. And that single image is what is used. Oh, sorry, cancel that. Turn the window off. And then that single image is brought in here, and then we cut it up here, saying 11 squares of 32 by 32 each. And then that makes up our animation. That is our bees. Now, right now, I think that we have it set at, and where's the, what's down here, I believe. Somewhere around here. Sorry, I'm looking for the frame rate here because there's a frame rate setting that I miss all the time. Because I haven't used that this much, I don't remember where everything is. But at some place there is a frame rate. Right now, I think we have it set to 10 frames a second or something like that. Used to be up here. I have some window or something turned off somewhere. I don't know. Oh well, not important. But you can adjust the frame rate. You can do a bunch of stuff in here like that. Because I think it's a little bit fast right now, but that's okay. Eventually I will find that again and be able to set the frame rate. But you can also add more frames. You can do all kinds of stuff. But I just kept it a simple 11 frame animation to make it look like that. And then you make it into an object like you do everything else. And move on. So then we make the object, which is here, get all of its inheritance and all that stuff. And this is also where we turn the standard shadow off on it. But yeah, so because eventually we will be able to maybe attack them or have them attack us, which could be kind of cool. If you kick, say if you kick the beehive, maybe they'll attack you. So cool. So until then, we have bees. We have bees around the beehives. And we'll set them on all the beehives, but I'm still wary about what the memory cost of all this stuff I'm putting in is, and whether it's going to seriously slow down the game once it's all in. Also, I would wonder that do we need more than one set of bee animations so that it doesn't look like it's just a repeat. Or maybe is there a random variable that you can set in the sprite maybe? Interesting. Oh, that's not what I thought we were on. Not on the player. We're not looking for the player. Looking for this. Is there a way to randomize the animation? Not sure if you can do it in Sprite itself. Maybe in the object. Yeah, maybe in the object. It's our object. Maybe there's a piece of code or something. Your physics, maybe. No. Oh well, something for another day. In the meantime, we could put them in and see if they do look terrible or not. You know, we could probably also make them different sizes. What size is this one? Make it 625. Why is it not? Good. I think our X needs to be the same so that we get our 127. Oh, 10. Let's make it 110. Okay, cool. Okay, 110. Okay, so let's see how those three look together. It probably doesn't matter because they're so small and I'm just being hypersensitive about it, but we will see. Oop. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have to do something about randomizing it, but yeah. At least we have bees. Yep. Now let's go back to our notes. Okay. Improve randomness. And it might be as simple as just adjusting something. Thank you. Improve random bees. Okay. It also looks like there's a blank frame in there that I didn't see before. Right there. Right there. There. Yep. Okay, so the next thing, we had started cutting up the fountain. I believe we did. So we can make it like Photoshop, please come in here. Okay, so we did. Let's go back here a minute. Let's cancel that. We did, but we didn't save the actual pieces. Okay. This is the one we want. We already have it off. So when we come back, we will cut this up. Welcome back. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to cut the fountain up so that we have the pieces and we can make sprites out of them for things that they'll be collectibles. I'm assuming we can have it put it on like we do the hat, but the actual pieces will have to be collectibles. So let's go ahead and fix that real quick, or make that real quick, not fix it. I'm just going to take simple chunks of it here. So if we do let's see, we need layers, duplicate layer. Duplicate layer a couple times here. Need one more. Oh, actually what we can do is what we just did. We can make it as part of the sprite, is that, yes, that's something we can do. Here's what I'm thinking, is if we take this and change the canvas size to, let's see, we need that. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need five width size. So make that 500. Well, let's just go from left to right and say okay. So what we can do now is to take this guy and, based on what I just learned on sprites for the game, which I knew nothing about, so let's turn all this off. We need one more image in here, and it's going to be our It's a new. Where you at, buddy? Reference. Pretty sure I put it in here. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so this one. Okay, so let's grab this. Go back to this. This now has to line up with this. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the progression of the of it into a sprite. Then we can tell it which sprite to highlight, or which part of the sprite to highlight, because we'll put the animation at 0. And my theory is that then we'll be able to literally just step through it. Okay, so that should go to there, which means this one, which is our final, will go all the way to the end. And this one will be our, we're going to draw him up as the second one. Why is he not moving? Because we're not on the right one. Okay. And we'll worry about lining everything up after. But here's my theory, is let's take need all this gone. Actually, we can just do that. We can duplicate this one. Put it over the top. And we'll squish everything down later, but then we will take apart the fountain. It should be that. It should be this one. No. Okay, let's keep everything in order here. What we want is we want just one piece put back on it. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of this one on this side. Oops, let that far down. So that's it with one piece put back together. And then we'll just do that going left to right as so that is that piece, that goes there, that stays there, this goes up to the top. This is fountain 1. So what I'm building is that sheet for the animation as to which thing it is, because one of the things that it shows in for the text box is that the color can be set separately, which means you can have different versions. So my theory is if I put this whole thing together where it's rebuilding itself, then we should be all good to be able to use that as the overall sprite for it as you put it back together, as you bring pieces back. And we can actually do 4 where the last piece is the head. That might be actually quite interesting, but okay, let's get this. Actually, no, we just need the top off, don't we? Yep. This is the progression that you're putting it back together. we gotta go one lower. Looks like. Okay. So that. Build. And I'm going to go back and make sure that I have the coordinates correct, because we're going to have to do some math on that to make sure that they're set the equal distance apart. Happy Friday! Yes, it is. Hall monitor reporting in. Hey, Troy. I hope we're living up to your expectations today. I'll bring this all the way over here. Like I said, I'll set the spacing correctly later. Let's pull. The only thing I think we need to pull off here is the top piece, which is his head. So what we'll do is use this one to where the last piece is like his head. Oh, I need to get rid of these. Nope, that didn't work. What did I do wrong? There's the wrong thing. Yeah, and all we need is just the final piece. Yep, don't do it that way. See. Okay then. We need another one of those. Take that over there. Goes on this one. Perfect. Okay, so last piece goes on, water goes on. So that is our progression for putting the fountain back together. So now what I need to do is I need to save this as a separate file out. Save as. PSD, mountain progression. Okay, yeah, bring the original back in. Get the size, canvas size. So, where is my, sometimes you need a pen. I haven't written anything down in here in a while, so yeah, my pen is somewhere around here. I guess we're gonna have to use this. Well, we should use this anyway, because there's some math that's gonna be involved. So let's go just make a, in here we're gonna make a math sheet so that we have math. Okay, so it is 103 by 110. So if we change it to 104, so we have an even number, that's one thing I would do, 104. Okay, so because I want an even number so that I can do not have to have halves when I'm doing this math. So we know that now. So it's 110 high. And again, just to make sure, height is 110. Yeah. So they have to be 104 apart. Let's go back to here. First thing we need to do is make sure that everything is on the screen. Let's make the width a little bit further. Let's make it 600 for right now. Just so that that's on the screen, because what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to do a merge each individual section. So turn everything off. Okay. That one does not need a merge. Those are not in the correct place with that. Okay, we're going to start with that one and that. So those two do need a merge. And that's going to be Fountain 2. Okay, next one. Those two, put them next to each other. Everything is done, goes at the bottom. Okay. Okay, this is Fountain 4, I believe. Yes, this is Fountain 4. Let's keep going. That's the final fountain, so he is all good. We'll go Fountain 5. Sorry, 5, not 4. This would be Fountain 3. And then this should just be Fountain 1. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Make sure they are in order here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now it's just a matter of where they're at in the on the page. Let's make sure our height is 110. Height is 110. All right. So where do each of them belong? So they should be 104, or excuse me, 52. Okay. 104. Yeah. So let's do that first. Let's do this. Equals the sum of 104 divided by 2 plus 104. So this one here should be at 158. So let's make sure it lines up correctly. Looks like it's a little short. No, it's right. It's in the right place. So let's turn these off. $156. In that area. Yeah, so let's make sure 104 is 104 is there. Yeah, so we're all good. So this one would be screwed up. Forgot to do the rest of the math. All right, so this one goes at 260. The next one is 364. Then 468. All right, so let's line everybody up. Two is pretty close, so we'll keep that there. More than likely it's going to be a little bit off, but that's okay. We can fix it later. We're just throwing it together here so that we have something. And then number 5. Everybody's on. That is correct, right? Yeah, that was correct. All right, so we now need to know how wide it needs to be. $624, I think. Canvas size. Nope, 624 is not. It would be 520. Yeah. Let's see what happens. We might just break it. Who knows? Proceed. Bam. Yeah, so actually that should work. Save this off as a PNG. First we'll save it off as that of course, but export into go over here. We're going to say Make a new directory. I'm just going to call them animation cells for now because I want to come up with a better name for it. But so fountain PNG, we'll save that. And let's see. So that should give us something to work with. Let's close this. When we come back from the zombie attack, then we will build that sprite. And hopefully that will, hopefully this will work. We will see, we will see. Let me see. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to chat, people. I really am sorry. In the sprite itself, but run that sprite through a code piece, then you can randomize. Yeah, I'll worry about that later. My assumption is that if you can make a loop, oh, this is for the homeowner. Yeah, my theory is if we can make this into a sprite, make it it has no animation frames, but we can call up, similar to what we do for the sign and other things, is we can say, okay, yeah, I think, sorry, my brain is working 1,000 miles an hour trying to think of a way to do this right. Yeah, I think what I'm thinking is correct. So I will show you what I mean. It's in 12 seconds when the zombie attack is gone. Let's go here. Let's close. We can close up these. Okay, so if we build a sprite, not an object, but a sprite. Sprite, create sprite. And in that sprite, we import. Let's go here. We do this. We want to add 2, 3, 4, 5 frames. Yeah, I think we actually need to add the image first. Import image. Okay, boop, boop, boop. 5.1 assets. New reference. Animate cell. Okay, so that gives us all of our fountain pieces in one place, which is basically what I was trying to get to anyway. So the way we have it set up now is you have the fountain, then you have to find 4 pieces for the fountain to work, because the head it just seems to me that should be a piece that you should find separately from the rest of the other pieces. But my goal here is if we now go to edit image, then what we can do is, let's see, where is it at? Convert to frames. Now, what we know is that the frame sizes were 104 by 110. Oh wait, actually that's number of frames. I screwed that up. Number of frames is 5. Frames per row are 5. Sizes are 10. Let's see, is that height or width? Okay, sorry, I hit the wrong button. So this should be 104. Yes, so far everything's looking good. And then this should be 110. So those are our frames. So we've now cut it up into the frames. So we can say convert, say yes. And Now if we play it, it'll build it. We're a little bit off on our centering, but we can fix that later. Yeah. So yeah. But we're only going to see one frame at a time. Oh, so all of them are correct except for the first one. That's funny. So actually, the first one's correct. All the rest of them are wrong. But we now have it as an animation, which means that we can say, and I have to look up the code on how to do this. We can say, we can change what it is based on that. Similar to what we do with the signs, the different colors, backgrounds for the text when we're talking with the text box. Yes, as we put it back together, it'll change that frame to the next frame. So that actually kind of works. But in regards to, we didn't get all. We still need to go back and clean up the animation, but you get the basic here. Yeah, I didn't do a good job cleaning it up. But I could have swore we're back to the same thing again. Is where is it? Where do I set the frame rate? Dock panels. Oh, size, smooth. Ah. So we set the frame rate here to 0. That way we can step through it as we use it. Cool. We need to go back and clean that up, but we'll do that real quick because that'll be a quick fix. We can close this now. And now we have our yeah. Let's go clean that up real quick. Since we have Photoshop open anyway, let me put a odd background behind it so I can see where we screwed up. Image layer, new layer. Just say okay, put it on the bottom. Fill it with, I don't know, black. Black is fine. And then we can go in and see where all of our mess ups are. Let's hide those. There should be 2. Okay. The rest of it looks okay for the most part. We just need to now center him a little bit. Let's see where his center is. Let's go back to our rulers. Show rulers. That's weird. Oh well. So if that one is 208. So this should be 50. 52. Oh, it looks pretty spot on. Interesting. Is it off? I think it's off that much, but it seems weird that it's not. Oops, that I didn't think you could do. Oh, he's off the other way. Okay, let's go back to Photoshop here. So where is 104? Okay, that should have fixed it. Yeah, and I need to learn this anyway because I didn't know how to set the sprites up for animations. So this was just another one that I was like, okay, well, I need to learn this. So still new to GameMaker, as we all know. Go back to here, and then reload the image. Everything got messed up, so everything we did got messed up. Okay, no worries. The more we do it, the better anyway. So we're going to go with 5. Go back to image, convert to frames. And this was starting at 5. Oh, it kept all the settings, which is good. Convert. Say yes. Awesome. Now it should. Yeah, there. Now we're lined up. Cool beans. Now let's say, okay. We now have our object, our sprite. We need to make it into an object. Let's go. Sprite full fountain. And then come, oh, I left the back. Okay, we're going to have to replace it here again in a second because I left the background in. That's not going to work. Create object. Okay. We want this to be a parent of entity just for now. So, okay, so that would be good. We need to go back to Photoshop and drop that solid background out so that we have a alpha. File save, save, and export. Export full fountain. I mean, to me, it's a more efficient way to have these anyway. So I'm actually kind of glad that we can do this probably for all of the statues as well, is be able to bring them in that way. That just makes more sense. I just realized that I go back to this and you guys have been looking at, okay. Sorry. Close that. So we're going to bring the image in again with the background. I'm going to drop everything. So There we go. There's our fountain rebuild. We're going to go to the editor. We're going to go back to convert to frames, and it's already been preset because we already set it all up. It does that. We're now converted to frames again. Everything lines up to build our fountain with an alpha, which is good. Then we need to make sure the animation is set to 0. It is set to 0. All right. So now we have closed that. Now we should be able to open the object. Yes, here is our object. I'm going to say, oh. And that is our object. Now, it has the full fountain animation. It looks like it has the right thing in there. Let's go back to our thing. Now we take this one, which is the O fountain. That one now gets removed. This now gets removed. What's good about this also is that now we have the fountain in all of its iterations. What the hell is this? Oh. That we can now put in here, and no matter what we do to it, it's always going to fit with itself. So any resizing we do, anything like that, it will automatically just all kind of work. So that's about right. Let's see, is there, oh, and we can step through it. So as we're putting it together, boom. So yeah, so that's cool. So as we go out and find each piece, all we have to do is tell the code, and this is probably going to be really good for the statues as well, is tell the code to use the next frame as it's being built. So that's I'm sure this is not rocket science. I'm sure this is probably how you're supposed to do it. I didn't know. So it looks like a functional way to do it to me. Does that make sense? So yeah. And we could move it to where the our auto should be in front of it, that's for sure. But our auto never seems to be where we want it to be. There you go. We have fountain, we have auto. We have multiple versions of fountain. We're all good. So we can do the same kind of setup. Oh wow. One. Yeah, so oh, it's 0, that's why. Cool. So 1 sprite, not 5. That's the way I look at it. But it's just good. It's just good to know to set it up that way because I didn't know. And then we could put collision on the bottom so that you can't walk through it, but you should be able to walk behind it, which we can actually test. Let's go back to the sprite. I don't think I looked at collision. Let's go manual. Let's move it down where it's just down here. This up a bit. That way its base is always impassable, but yeah, that should be good. And then we should be able to walk. I don't know if it'll put it in front of us or behind us, but we should get something from that. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good. That save that. And then let's do a build and take a look at it. Okay. Our bees are still going. Our fountain is up. Oh yeah, we can walk behind it. Cool. We will eventually have to build an animation for the water too, so, but you get the general idea. Although, I did not set its center point right, so its shadow is up here. So I do have to fix the center point. But I think the rest of it, as far as collision and stuff like that, and the otter's in front of it. Oh my god, it worked. How? That makes no sense. So cool, yeah. Yeah. You have to fix the center and then put it back in the right place, and then we should be all good. That is a simple fix. Back to the game. Back to this. Back to here. We need to go to the sprite. You take this and put it down here in the middle. So that fixes that. You can also go to its inheritance in the object and turn the shadow itself off, because that shadow is not going to help it any. Go variables, shadow, turn the shadow to false. Okay, that takes care of that. Now we just need to go back to our thing and put it back in the right place because we changed its center point. Cool. Let's do one more thing with the tile set real quick. Put grass behind it. Looks like it's on the other tile set. No, it's not showing up right. Turn everything off here. Oh, that's collide. Yeah, we can turn that collide off actually. Because it has its own collision, we don't need collide anymore. So on it. And we'll do the same thing with those, is when we set their collisions, we'll be able to take the collide part off. And save. And build. Doop a doop doop doop. And that should take care of the fountain for today. A copy, a paste. Survey says play. Wait for it to come up on your screen. And there you go. All right. Alrighty then. The collide is now solely, or should have been. Oh well. Don't know why the collide's not working. However, he's in the right place. We can walk behind it. We might have to move Odin up a little bit, but we'll get that worked out. But cool beans. It was written in prophecies of old. What? Okay, I missed something here. In spring, I have a bomb. Ads will come in 2 minutes. Is it okay? That's probably any second. We're gonna get the Viking attack, or the zombie attack. Okay then. We got quite a few things done as far as like how to set things up and things that I think that's probably a little too big, but that's okay. We'll fix that. We do have to redo this map anyway so that it's a little bit taller. And take those stones out and do some other things, but yeah. Need to make sure we save this. Save the project. Right, cool. That's a good way to do it. Because we're gonna it's really cool because we can set it here as well. For instance. So that it's on the right frame. Cool. Because that'll be also something that's going to need to be saved in the save game, is the progression of where you are. So we'll have to add that to saves. If it's not already there, it might be. Interesting. Yep. Come back up here, see if you guys had said anything that I should have paid attention to and I didn't. Put this out. We have saved. We did save it. God, I hope it's saved. Oh well, we have the weekend. I can put it back together if I have to. Need to turn our logos back on. And then we can go to our next item right after this is over. That is correct. We need to open up our raid board. We can close everything else. And save. Okay, something's doing something weird. Okay, well, let's get out of this while then I'll figure out what it's doing. Okay, we're going to end our day here and go back to just me.